Yo, what's up, YouTube? Just want to do a little video on this ARRMA Talion. Um, if you guys are looking for a budget racer, seriously, you might want to take a couple minutes and watch this little video. This truck for $499, ready to run, you just can't beat it. It's a very, very nice platform, very well constructed, and it performs. You know, everybody sees these videos of the speed runs and bashing, and we all know that it can do those things very well. Well, something that isn't talked about a lot is what this thing can do on a track. I'm running with some local pros, and I'm only about 2 laps off pace in the A main of the pros. So, again, those guys are running, you know, like the Techno ET 48.3, the Team Associated RC8 T3.1. The Mugans, you know, that's what most of the guys are racing out there, and this truck right here is keeping up with them. So, something to think about. You know, I haven't done a whole lot in the way of upgrades for this thing. It's got some tires, obviously. We've got the hole shots in the front and the blockades in the back. Upgraded to a 16-tooth pinion. You can't see it very well, but anyway, that's what's down in there. And upgraded the steering servo. Blasted out the old one on a huge triple. So, for a stock servo though, the one that comes in it is really not that terrible for a ready to run. I did break mine, but like I said, that was on a 30 by 30 foot triple. So, you can imagine it's not that hard to break things when you're launching your car that far. I also broke a lower A-arm. That's about all I've broke on this thing, and I've been running it solid for 4 months now. It's been in, you know, a few races, a few race days, and you know, right now I have the shocks out to rebuild them there. Diffs have been rebuilt, but very, very capable platform even with the stock electronics. You know, you play with the punch control, the pinion. Censored is overrated in my opinion, especially when you're talking an 1/8 scale truggy. It's not very often you're at a stop where that really helps, or you know, the low speed. I just don't see a lot of benefit in the censored in a truck like this. Like I said, it's perfectly capable with what it has. But anyway, love some of the things they've done with the suspension on this. You know, the way they have these pins for your lower mount for your shocks is just amazing. I wish more companies were doing something like this. So you have a pin right here that has a little groove in it, and a set screw comes down and goes through the notch in this pin and holds the pin in, so you don't have to worry about this thing backing out or unscrewing on you. And just a very nice design. I really like the pillow ball suspension. You know, this thing feels very planted in the front. You know, I have made some changes in the suspension geometry, so that's something you guys would want to consider doing also. You know, depending on what type of track you're running on, track conditions and things like that can definitely vary and affect, you know, how you want your setup. I used to race, so I have a few ideas about things that I like to do for my setups. But anyway, guys, great budget racer. If you guys like these kind of videos, you know, drop a like, subscribe, let me know. If you want to see more videos, I'm definitely thinking about making some more, incorporating some race footage. That way you guys can see how this thing's doing on the track. And very, very amazed with how well it does on a track. So with the appropriate, you know, suspension setup, obviously you got to get your ride height set. Mine's obviously sitting on tires and no springs right now, but anyway, you know, speaking of springs and suspension, there's the stock springs. They're really not bad for the track conditions I have. You know, you find yourself using the shock fluid rather than the springs to do your tuning. But it would be very nice if we'd see ARRMA, you know, help us out with a little bit of part support there and give us some tuning spring options. I know that even the bashers would love to have that option for some stiffer springs. I do see guys doubling these things up and weird things like that. So ARRMA, come on guys, get us a little better part support. You know, speaking of which, everything's on back order right now too. Come on, get us some parts. A lot of guys running these things and loving them, but we got to have the parts so we can keep running them. But Anyway, I have some other ideas for some upgrades. You know, a lot of this stuff translates over to the DEX8T, the old Team Durango, which is probably why this is, you know, a competitive racer. It's very, very similar platform. I think a lot of the parts are even interchangeable. And, I haven't really looked into doing that because I've just been so happy with how it's performed so far. I don't see any reason to do some of the upgrades. You know, the suspension arms are actually very strong, even though I did break one. They've been very durable. The rears I have not broke. You know, those are still the ones that came on it. Very, very nice truck, you know. Good job, ARRMA. Now, get us a little better parts support so that we can do a little more with them. If you guys want to see some racing videos, things like that, like I said, drop a like, let me know. Thanks, guys.